Hello and welcome back to my channel. Um, Here I go with the ums again. Sorry, I will break that habit eventually, okay? So, and so, I say those things so much. Bear with me, I will break the habit. Today, I wanted to talk about why I'm doing these videos, why I'm documenting my quite humbling slash humiliating life right now, circumstances that I'm in. Being homeless, being a single mother, having already lost two children to the system, but not technically to the system because they are with family. Um, they were adopted by family, but just all kinds and seeking government assistance right now, seeking all kinds of help with you know personal issues. Um, Basically putting my life together from the ground up while taking care of another life, because not everyone can just make sure that they have it all together before they decide to have a child. I'm never going to have it all together. Okay? I'm never going to be perfect. I'm never going to reach the same point of being okay as someone who's never been through the things that I've been through, if that makes any sense. I will be, I will get to the point of awesomeness that I can get through, that I can get to. And trust me, it will be amazing. Okay, I will not disappoint. But even with as awesome as my life, my future is, it will never be as awesome as it could have been had I not been abused as a child. If I had been raised, if I had learned a lot of basic human adult lessons before becoming an adult, before having to go out, before being out there in the world and learning them the hard way, I would not have wasted so much time. I would not be as damaged as I am now. And the reason I'm, and that's why I'm making these videos, because I'm not the only one out there like me. I'm not the only person who's ever been abused as a child. I'm not the only person who's ever been abused as an adult. I'm not the only person whose parents failed to literally raise me. I'm not the only one. I'm not. Representation matters. You hear that so much from these social justice warriors and all these real woke activists and whatnot, but I mean, but they're talking about them. They're talking about their own people. They're not talking about homeless people. They're not talking about impoverished people. They're not talking about people on government assistance. They're only talking about the people that are functionable, that are okay, that have never been broken. Now, granted, there are some people out there that this obviously doesn't apply to all of the people that I'm talking about. That doesn't obviously apply to all social justice warriors. So, so don't not all men me, okay? Don't do that. I obviously don't mean every last one of them. There are exceptions to what I'm saying. I personally know a few of them myself, so I know they exist. It's just the loudest ones, the most vocal ones, the the people, the ones that are getting the most exposure in the media and so on and so forth, they are not talking about us. They aren't the ones that are talking about us. Now, granted, there is representation for those of us in poverty, that those of us who are homeless, those of us on government assistance. We are portrayed in the media. We are portrayed in movies and TV shows and books. But the way they portray us, the way they represent us, is lazy, hopeless addicts, uneducated, immoral, mentally unstable. I'm reading my notes. I didn't want to ramble, so I did promise you this in the last video that I'm done rambling. So here's the notes. Anyway, we have no class, no ambition. We're selfish. We're scheming. We have no class and classless. Oh, geez, this is why I need sleep. And we're undignified and uncouth. That's how we're represented. If every single person that I've ever seen in any movie or show that was on government assistance, welfare, food stamps, they had no desire to do anything but draw welfare checks and food stamps. They're not once did they show, have I ever seen, now if you've seen it, if you've seen otherwise, I would love for you to send me a link to it, because I am dying to see people like me represented. Because yeah, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of people that plan to get on government assistance and don't plan to get off them. They don't want to. And they encourage me to do the same thing. These people do exist. Yes, they do. And they get plenty of representation in the media. But what about people like me that are really, really trying? And then the people, don't get me started on the parents. Oh, you just having a kid and using them as a paycheck is what they love to say. And I'm like, no, when I was working 40, 50 hours a week in retail, I was a lot less tired than I am taking care of this newborn. Why in the world would I be using this newborn as a paycheck? Only a monthly paycheck. At least when I was working all those hours in retail, I got overtime. I got paid per hour. This government assistance, this piddly little check that I'm trying to get right now, that is no. No. Okay? Just no. And then on top of that, why aren't you just trying to get a job? First off, I'm not putting my kid in daycare. The things I've seen when working in daycares, the things I've seen my bosses do behind the parents' backs, if I can avoid it, I am not putting my child in a daycare. That will be a very, very last resort. Okay? That is a last resort. I will be going to school, and she does need to be taken care of, but daycare is a last resort, okay? Second reason representation matters. And so does everyone else. So I realize that we are at an age in our society where we're trying to banish a lot of stigmas. One of them is mental health. I have issues. You do not go through what I've been through without developing some issues, okay? You just don't. If you if you are fine after what I've been through or worse, there's something even worse wrong with you than what happened. Okay? There's something severely, deeply messed up about you. You cannot you cannot get through what I've been through unscathed. You just can't. And that's why I have never been able to hold down a job longer than 7 months. 7 months was a record. I keep I kept falling apart or something horrible would happen to me. If it wasn't me falling apart and quitting, something horrible would actually happen to me that would cause me to have to move and therefore not be able to keep my job, for I had no way of getting back and forth to work. Or I was moving to another state and therefore had to leave my job. It was always something. My life was literally a soap opera. Very poorly executed. Everything, like, when I look back on it, it's just like I am watching a soap opera. When you watch a soap opera, you can see all the plot holes. Like, why didn't he do this? Because if he had done this, this could have been avoided, or this could have been avoided, or that wouldn't have happened if he had just done this, or if he had just opened his mouth right when he said when this happened, that would have been prevented, etc., etc., etc. Looking back, holy crap. It's like I've got really terrible writers in the universe writing my life, and I am done with that. I've snatched the pen from these evil writers of depression and anxiety and PTSD, and I have stabbed them repeatedly with it, and now I'm writing with the pen. I'm writing my story. I am done letting those things dictate my every action. And I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this for my children, and I have to do this for you. Someone has to see someone like me succeed. It's so easy seeing people upper middle class succeed. But you don't see very many you don't see very many people like me succeed. There's not enough of us. There's not enough of us. There are a lot. But when you compare it to the rest of the successful people that have been through so much less, that have made so many fewer mistakes, that had way more support around them, you think you're the only person that has no one? Like, I didn't have anyone for a while. A long time. I had to teach myself. I raised myself with TV and anime. As a child, I had to take all of my life and relationship lessons from the shows and movies and cartoons and anime that I watched, because I couldn't get my mother to talk to me about anything. And when my father thought he was doing a good job and being a parent, he had wonderful little gems like the man who bought us ice cream here in DC, actually. You should be cautious of strangers, but people like this man are considered good strangers because he bought you ice cream. You know how stupid I felt when I realized as an adult how horribly, horribly wrong that is? You know how stupid I feel still to this day about what I walked myself into believing that? And I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not. I am not the only one who was stupid. No, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I had a stupid upbringing. Who tells their 9-year-old what who explains to their 9-year-old what prostitution is? Oh, I can't be I'm going on a tangent again. I'm sorry. Basically, I'm telling you this. I did not start learning about life until about, let's see, 13 and a half years ago. The things I was supposed to start learning 20 years ago, I got a 7-year I got I had a 7-year delay. Okay? And I did not get to learn these things. I'm not getting to learn these things in the safety and comfort of my parents' home like I was supposed to. I'm learning these things in the real world with real consequences. And I have no one else to teach me but the people that take advantage of me. And the lessons that I learned from those mistakes. The things that I keep losing, those things keep teaching me. And I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job considering what I have to work with. Okay? I could not. So what I'm doing right now, not looking to work yet. I'm not looking to work yet. I am working on myself. Yes, I'm seeking professional help. I'm not just doing my own thing and soul searching and smoking a bunch of weed and going on spirit walks or some crazy, weird, hippy dippy new age BS. Okay? I am legitimately seeking real help to learn real coping mechanisms, to learn real relationship skills, to learn real life skills that are functionable and sustainable. And once I can do that, my next step is to go to school. I think I've already mentioned it already. I don't feel like mentioning it now because, well, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm really tired of talking about what I want to be, my career that I'm going to start. I know that I'm going to do it. I don't need to prove it to you guys. But after I finish school, then comes the job in my chosen field. Any job position in that chosen field. As long as I can just get my foot in the freaking door. That's all that matters to me. And then I work from there. just like anybody else starting their career. Yes, I get to start really late, but considering what I have to work with, I'm doing freaking amazing. And so are you. You, the whoever you are that's in the same boat as me, who feels just as crappy and disadvantaged and feels just as who fights the same feelings of worthlessness as I do. We've got this. We have got this. If I can do it, my sorry self, if I can do this, so can you. I'm not sitting here blaming society or my skin color or racism or institutionalization or anything like that. I'm blaming, I'm barely even blaming my parents, really. There's no real blame. I was just dealt a crappy freaking hand. Big freaking deal. Okay? I got a I got splintery chopsticks instead of a silver spoon. Okay? My point is, I was tired of people in my position being misrepresented in the media and in pretty much everywhere, and I wanted to change that. So I'm gonna represent us. I can do this. Yes, there are really crappy people out there. Okay? I am surrounded by crappy poor people, crappy homeless people, crappy schemy con artisty trash human beings. Okay? So it's not like the representation that is currently in the media is false. It's just that it doesn't represent people like me. We do exist, and people don't realize that, and you need to. It's just like it's no different than us black folks, the way we used to be represented as, oh, we were always the help. We were always um you know, the joke, the low class, uneducated, you know, we were always playing those roles in media, in movies, etc., etc. Now, and then it went from that to, oh, we always came from the hood and we were always gangsta and we could all sing and we can all dance and we can all rap and we all listen to the same music. And now you're starting to see, okay, it's not changing that much. Okay, we still have a long way to go with representation of us, but my point is, at least now not all of us are being portrayed as poor or the help. We are being portrayed as lawyers and judges and doctors and nurses and construction workers and artists and music makers. More than just the help, more than just, being the butt of a joke. It's evolving, and I want that evolution to take place within my community, my community of poverty. Okay? Whoever you are, you, my fellow homeless, broken, but still good person, brother, sister, cousin, whatever you want to call yourself, your family, and we're in this together. If I can do it, so can you. and I believe in you, and I love you. Now, time for my shameless plug. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and let's go on this journey together. Rags to riches, baby. We got this. See you next video.